welcome back to my channel. This is Heike and you're watching Stone Cold Coffee Crafts. This is Lola, my little assistant. Are you coming up here? Come on. Not as long as you're looking at me, human. There she is. That is Lola, my ragdoll cat and my official co-host and assistant. And today is Friday, July the 24th, so that means today is time for my next Flosstube. In case you don't follow my nearly daily crafty chat updates, this is probably the one video where you're going to see what I did for my cross-stitching in the last 2 weeks. I do not have any finished or fully finished objects this week. I fully intended to have my Barbara Anna's Belleville finished by now, but I did order some finishing stuff from Barbarol and it has still not been shipped. It's been 3 weeks now, so I hope she will ship it out soon. Oh, hi. Giving the people the best view. She is a bit salty with me because we were actually still cuddling in bed this morning when I suddenly decided I had to do stupid things like getting up, so she did not talk to me for the last 10 minutes, but I think we are good now again. Anyway, no finished or fully finished objects. I really hope that next time around I can show you the finished Barbara Anna SAL, because I want to get this done, and I'm kind of annoyed that it hasn't happened yet. But I talked to Barbara and she said, yeah, she had a lot of orders for some of the stuff that I ordered as well. I was not aware that it was not all in stock. So I guess that's just life. I have also no new starts, so it's only going to be whips this time around. And the first one I'm going to show you is the one I am working on right now. And that's my Baby It's Cold Outside by Heartstring Samplery. I'm going to do the changed version with the cardinal, and I'm participating in the Baby It's Cold Outside stitch along in memory of Leanne. And I have, since you saw this last time during Stitch Mania, finished the 2 houses. I filled in all the red and the windows and doors, and then they are done now. I had actually intended to stitch on this in the last 2 days, but I did not pick it up at all. On Wednesday I pretty much had a case of the I don't want to do anythings, and hey, hi. And yesterday you probably, or maybe not, saw my post on my community wall. I'm dealing with some back issues now, and I had decided yesterday that it would make no sense whatsoever to pick up stitching. And thank you for all your well wishes. Sadly, it's not much better today. I'm still alternating all the time between sitting down, walking around, lying down, just standing around. It's ridiculous. But it's basically what you have to do when something like this happens, because you just can't stay in one position very long. And yeah, let's hope it clears up a little bit. And yes, I think I have either pinched a nerve or whatever. It's not even that painful, it's just that problem with the leg falling asleep or the foot swelling like a balloon when I sit too long. So yeah, a bit annoying. So anything that I'm going to say in my plans section in the next few minutes is going to be very tentative. So please keep that in mind. So the next thing I worked on is the Barbara Anna Christmas Mystery Stitch Along Santa's Trip. And I have finished part 1 and 2. So this is now 7 parts remaining. It's going to be all these little small boxes, no more monstrous patterns like the frame, although it was so much fun to stitch. I can't really complain about it. I would do it all over again. So I'm really happy with how that turned out and how that went along stitch-wise. And I like the second part, this little Santa couple and Rudolph a lot. This came together very quick, and I think this would also make a great ornament if you don't want to stitch the whole thing as a sampler. I think this would be awesome as an ornament. As you can see, as I always do, I replaced a few stitches with beads because I'm that extra. Probably should not have carried the dark thread behind Santa and Mrs. Claus, but yep, I probably can still change that. Yeah, I love you too. If you keep bumping my hand, the people are getting sick. Yep, so this is a very enjoyable stitch. I'm really looking forward to August 1st when the next part drops. It usually only is one night of stitching for me for these little blocks, but it's an enjoyable night. Yeah, it's your frame, I know. So, and last but not least, there was also a new part for the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery Chinese Zodiac SAL, the 4th one, so we are halfway through now. And, well, if you're honest, a little over halfway because the center knot, right? So this time around we got the corner for the bottom right side. And I really love how this fan came out. The one in the upper right did not come out just as well. I think in this lighting you can actually see the bamboo, but depending on the lighting, the bamboo is very hard to see in this blue fan. At least on camera. It's a bit better in real life, but it's not great. A different contrast color for the fan would have worked much better. But I like what they did for the little flower fan with the purple. That comes out really great. The camera makes the whole thing look a little darker. The lighting is really atrocious. I have my ring light up, but it's today is after 3 days, I think, of super sunny and warm weather is another gray, yucky day. So, of course, today. Yeah, this is coming along great. I love the look of this. I just love the cutesy look of Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. It's basically what I fell in love with first, and I guess I'm always going to have a soft spot for it. But I am a cute, crafty things person anyway, so giving you a last look, and then it's going to go away. So these are the 3 projects I worked on and keep intending to work on, which is my segue to my saddest segment of Flosstube, the one which I hope won't happen too often, but it's going to happen again. It's time for rest in peace. And it doesn't want to let go. This was supposed to be my focus piece for July. And I picked it up, I put in the few brown stitches you can see here, and then I decided I am not going to keep working on this. I hate this fabric so much. It's a 32 count Lugana from Zweigart in vintage gray. I love how it looks. I can't with Lugana. It's too tight for me. I hate how it feels to pull the thread through. It really drags, and the feeling of having to drag the thread through, especially in sections where you have full coverage, so you're pulling these 2 threads to the same hole 4 times, and it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. It's like nails on a chalkboard for me. And yeah, it wasn't too bad in this block here because it didn't have a lot of full coverage, but this one here with a house, ooh, and we have 4 of these houses. So what I decided to do is, because this is basically, I think, maybe 4 days of stitching, if that much, maybe it's just 3, I decided to start over. So this is going to be taken off the frame now, and it's going to be retired. If any one of you would like to finish this, let me know. I could probably send it to you. I know there are a few countries where I currently can't send to, but I could do it at the later point. You have to get your own patterns and you have to get your own threads. I would only send you this piece of fabric with what I've already stitched. And yeah, I would be happy if someone wanted to complete it. I'm just not that person. Also the buttons, of course. If you want the buttons, you don't need them. You can easily do this without them. But if you want them, you have to get them for yourself as well. But you can get all the supplies very easily on 123 Stitch if you are not in the US and not pay an arm and a leg for shipping, or whatever your local store is. Yes, baby? And now you're quiet, okay. So just let me know if someone would like to finish this. Yes, there are markings on this fabric because I had to cut it down and I mismeasured. So I'm going to try to take them off, but you're probably going to see them. But if you frame it, this is still enough margin so you won't see them in the end. No, you're not going to clean out the shelf. Thank you. So, what's for plans? Hey, you. Today, the next 24 hours of cross-stitching starts, but with the current health situation, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to make 24 hours. I had fully planned to do 24 hours to, or at least attempt for a second time. I think I missed like 8 hours the last time. And I fully intended to try and pull 24 full hours in this time. I'm still going to do as many as I can, but in the end, it's not going to be 24. I would be very surprised about that, and probably my back would be killing me. So I'm going to stitch on Baby It's Cold Outside. I still really much would like to finish it this month. It's only one more week, so I'm not sure if I'm going to accomplish that. Usually I would say yes, I could easily do it. Because now that the house is finished, there isn't anything massive left on this pattern. Mainly words, a few snowflakes, a handful of trees, and the cardinal and the border. So that's all more scattered around smallish things. But I'm not going to put that pressure on myself right now. I don't want to hurt myself even further. I'm keeping the goal still somewhat in line of sight, but it's not a must. Let's put it that way. Same as for the 24 hours of cross stitch. I'm going to try, but I am not doing it no matter what. The Frosty Forest I'm going to restart as soon as I have the fabric. I think I'm going to go for Pole Stitches Silver Lining. I've seen on the Pole Stitches Facebook group that another person has stitched this on this fabric and it looks fabulous. It is also a variegated gray, as you can imagine. And on the homepage it looks extremely dark. That's why I went on the Facebook page and checked for pictures and found someone who coincidentally, she seems to like that fabric. She stitches on it a lot, but she coincidentally also stitched the Frosty Forest on it. What was exactly what I needed. So, and it looked really good. It was nowhere near as dark in her pictures than it was on Pole Stitches product picture. That being said, Pole Stitches product pictures are always extremely off. I have a lot of their fabrics, and quite a lot of times it does not really match. Jesus, what is going on with my brain? I'm pretty much just out of bed. I'm sorry, guys. It doesn't match their product pictures at all most of the times. Sorry, taking a sip of coffee. Because everything is jumbled. I think that's you, because you forced me to stay in bed longer. Bad kitty. Oh yeah. If that is the consequence of being naughty, I'm going to do it again. Yeah, baby girl. That's what I have to deal with all day. Oh, the cuteness. And then we are moving over into August. August is going to be a themed month for all my crafts except knitting, because that's a bit hard to do. But who knows? Maybe I can even pull that off. So I'm going to choose a focus piece for August, which I'm going to show in a video. Maybe I'm going to do 2 videos on the 1st of August. The first one would be the diamond painting theme of the month, which is always on the 1st. And then the second one would be my chosen focus piece and theme for the month in a shortish extra crafty chat, because I think August 1st is a Saturday. So that would usually actually be a no video day for me, but maybe I'm going to do 2. Why not? And I would really like to invite you to join for my theme. It's going to be a celebration. And that is going to be the piece I am going to put my main focus on in August, just like I intended to do with Frosty Forest and now do with Baby It's Cold Outside. Aside from that, I am going to do the 2 pieces of the center strip that are going to drop on the 1st and the 15th, and of course the new pattern from the Zodiac SAL, but this should be 3 animals this time around, and those usually go very quick for me. So for this part for this month, it took me 3 days, but the animals usually, if I put my mind to it, I can do in a day. So that should not hold up the thing too long. And we will also have a new start in August, because August is my birthday month and I decided to have a birthday new start. Though right now the plan is that I am going to finally visit my family over my birthday, so I'm probably not going to actually start on my birthday. It might be the day after, when we are back home. Because I am pretty sure when I see my family again after 8 months, I'm not going to have time to put stitches into anything. But that's the current plan for August, as far as I have planned August out. So I would really like to have you join in if you want to, in any shape or form. But I'm going to explain this more on August 1st, I guess. So what is left? Haul. Haul is very small today. You are going to be really shocked. So let's do fabric first, because I do fabric best. This was an unplanned purchase. I just thought, let's check if Chromatic Alchemy has something new. And she sporadically updates her shop. I think she's currently trying to find a new dyeing space or something like that. So she is not doing a lot of updates. And I found this one. She called it Stygian or something like that. I think it's the river Styg in the underworld she's referring to, because this is very dark. It's a very dark, I would say it's actually more blue. I think it also comes out on camera more blue. It's like a 939 mixed with black, honestly. So, and I thought this would be a good fabric to do something very colorful on, in case I encounter another yoga corn pattern or something like that. We have pretty much every color in the pattern. And I find I don't mind stitching on dark linen too much, so I went for it. Yeah, I know, that was loud. I'm sorry about that. So the second piece of fabric is very unspectacular, but it comes with a pattern. So this is a piece of 28 count Zweigart Summer Khaki, I think is the English name for this. And I purchased this very boring piece of fabric the cat is not going to lie down on, because I'm a mean human. Going to put this back in the bag. So, because I don't need the extra cat hair, my dear. I bought this very super boring piece of fabric because I got this pattern here. It's the 12 Days of Christmas by Little House Needleworks. And that is what this looks like. And I got this because I'm trying to be a good daughter-in-law. I'm going to stitch my mother-in-law this pattern as a present for birthday/Christmas. Because yes, she is that extra. That day is the same. And I know she likes this song. So I was on the lookout for the perfect pattern of this little Christmas song, poem, whatever. I know it is a song. Don't know if it's originally more of a rhyme thing, a children's rhyme or something. So I've been on the lookout basically since last Christmas. And for whatever reason, I never noticed the Little House Needleworks, but I think it's going to be perfect for her. It's not too cute, but it's also not too meh. The colors are not over the top bright and colorful, which fits the theme of her house. So I think this is going to be ideal. And I think this is going to be done very quickly, because this is actually not a whole lot of stitching aside from all the words, which should probably go very quickly. So I'm putting that on my to-do list to happen before Christmas. This is not going to be my new start for August though. I'm moving this into September probably. I would like to work on something else first. And then my last purchase. Yeah, already my last. I finally got the Blackbird Designs Sisters book. And there's actually only 4 patterns in this book. Let me see if I can show this to you. So we have 2 antique samplers by 2 sisters. This is the first one by A. Shields, stitched in 1824. And this is the original sampler. That means the colors and the stitching are always pretty hard to see on the pictures, because those girls, they stitched with whatever on whatever. So, and some of these are pretty old, 1824, nearly 200 years old. And then there is H. Shields, stitched in 1823. It's the second one. So they have basically produced these samplers. And then Barb Adams created her own, and that is mostly the reason why I actually wanted this book, because I really would like to stitch this Halloween sampler at some point. I really like how that looks. But if I'm going to stitch it, it's not going to be on this type of fabric. I do not like the look of this very linen-y linen. It's going to be something lighter, when the colors pop a little better. And then we have this little sampler here, Peace and Plenty. And this is a Christmas sampler, as it states down here. So very easy to... Oh no, there's one more. Okay, it's 5. Which no more. Just reading what she wrote for this. Ah, yeah, that's what I thought. So this little girl, Judith, she was prosecuted as a witch. At an insane age, it seems. Guys, I really don't get this stuff. Hope people can, yeah, okay. So yeah, that's all I've got. As far as purchases go, not a lot. I also really have to take a step back with the purchasing. That's a sad fact. I've been spending way too much money. Another sip of coffee. So yes, that's all I have. If you are participating in the 24 hours of cross stitch, I would be really interested to hear from you. That's not all I have, because I said in my crafty chat a couple of days ago, I think it was, that I was going to talk more about my tentative plans to start a Shuttlein in 2021. I was thinking of actually making this my New Year start. I still am, but I talked about the issues I've had with the pattern. So I've purchased the Japanese Zen Moss Garden pattern last year when they had their Black Friday sale. So Chatelaine has once a year a pretty big sale which happens around Black Friday, and their patterns are usually 30% off at that time. A Chatelaine pattern is 36 euros, so I absolutely waited for this sale to happen. I got the pattern, I opened the pattern, and the first thing I noticed is that the supply list is horrible. It's really horrible. The next thing I noticed was that the pattern is... She divided it into sections. So she starts with a center section, but the whole center section, the whole big thing, is on one page. I guess that is not an issue if you have Pattern Keeper or something else that is like Pattern Keeper. Is there something that is like Pattern Keeper for iOS? Really like Pattern Keeper? Not something that could be, I guess, used instead of, but Pattern Keeper so much better? If so, let me know. If not, I am probably going to purchase an Android device now, so I can have Pattern Keeper, because this is really, yeah. So this whole, I got milk on my hand. How did I manage that? This whole pattern is a huge nightmare. Usually I can stitch PDF patterns from my PC while I'm sitting here. I will not be able to do that with a Shuttlein. And also something I did not notice right away, because that was enough for me to close the pattern down and not touch it again until Rachel talked on her last Flosstube about starting one. That's when I got back into it and decided, okay, good, get the supply list in order and check this pattern out again and check if you need to get an Android device or not. So I fixed the supply list now. I brought it into a format that's actually readable with item numbers and all, because, yeah, some of the item numbers are not the item numbers of the items. Let's just put it that way. If you see a list of Delica beads and the item number is supposedly DEL and then a number, please be aware that's not the item number. Which I happen to know because I also used to do beading, but I can imagine that someone who's not familiar with beads will go insane with information like that. Especially because the names of the beads don't match up between shops. I don't know if it's because they come from Japan and they translate the names and not every redistributor translates them the same. I have no idea. But I've seen, especially for that first color, which name have I decided now to go with? Let me check. I have now decided to go with the name Transparent Rainbow Candlelight Crystal. I have seen everything from transparent crystal, which is not true, to transparent, somewhat lined crystal, which could be true, to something peach, which should not be true because it's actually a white color, but I'm not judging. So I have a feeling that someone who is not really aware could easily lose their mind over this. I was also very happy to see that she has literally used the most expensive delica bead that exists on this green earth. Thankfully I found a shop that is going to sell me exactly 1 gram, which should be enough. But yeah, I did a double take when I saw what these beads cost. They are coated in 24 karat gold, genuine gold. Also, an issue you probably should know if you think about starting this, the Swarovski 4mm bicone beads. 2 of the colors on that list, and there are 5 for this particular Chatelaine, 2 of these colors are either discontinued or the other one is extremely hard to find. I have not been able to source them here, which I found extremely ridiculous because, as you might or might not know, Swarovski is a company from Austria and I live in Germany. Hello neighbor, why is it so hard to get your stuff here in Germany? Explain, please. I don't get it. So yeah, other than that, something I only discovered during this week when I revamped the list and looked at the pattern again is that I have a huge issue with recognizing which color for backstitching and special stitch she asks me to use in certain parts. So the regular cross stitch part is not unclear at all. She, like every pattern, uses symbols and stuff, and it's easy to see what is supposed to go where. You just have this giant PDF with these charts that probably would be still too small if you printed them in O0 format. O0 I think is nearly as big as a bed sheet. And it takes ages to load and clear up. That's also fun. But the backstitching part, she does not give you any indication what the color is on the actual part of the pattern. She just has the full list with all the colors. And I'm going to insert you a picture here what this full list looks like, how thin these lines are, and it is really hard to recognize on the pattern what she means, which color I'm supposed to use for these parts. It's really hard. So I asked this question in the daily crafty chat. I spoke about this stuff, and I'm going to ask it again. If you are using Pattern Keeper, does Pattern Keeper tell me when I encounter these backstitch lines? You probably, if you have used a pattern in Pattern Keeper before that has backstitch, does Pattern Keeper tell me this line is this color? I wonder, because that's one of the reasons why I'm actually thinking about scrapping the plan. I really would like to stitch this. It's a gorgeous piece. I'm going to link a Flickr photo album below where you can see detailed pictures of a finished Japanese Zen Moss Garden. It is stunningly beautiful. I really want to do it and I want it on my wall, but I have no idea how I'm supposed to do this. So the special stitches, they don't intimidate me. She includes instructions for all of them, and those instructions look really good. But these lines, they drive me crazy. They drive me really crazy because they are just there are so many, you know, so many different colors, and at some point it is just not enough to just have the colors. You need a bit more to say this is that color and this is that color. So that's something that is driving me a bit nuts right now. Oh, thank you. Other than that, my lovely friend Jessi is going to kit up for me the special flosses, so I don't have to go around and buy a few there and a few here and a few there, and yeah, she's going to do a full kit and I'm going to purchase that from her. If you're interested to do something like that, I'm pretty sure she would be happy to kit something up for you as well, and just check her out. I am going to put her channel and her Etsy shop down below. So thank you, Jessi. You're an angel. I can get easily all the DMC here. I can get the beads here, except for some of the bicones. So it's mainly the silks I need help with because they are not very popular here. Yeah, that's my rant. I love you too. That's my rant. I pretty much announced in the crafty chat. I spoke about the Shuttlein for the first time. So the problem is, I really love it. I want to do it. It's a stunning piece of work, but I don't know if it's just me being afraid of that thing or if it's really not exactly user-friendly. And I can't ask the designer because she sadly passed away a few years ago. So yeah, that option no longer available because her daughter, she still sells the patterns, but she knows nothing about cross stitch by her own admission. So it's a bit of a sad situation, especially because I have multiple Chatelaines I would like to stitch, which I really, really, really love. But I have to get over that first one. And I also have to decide if I'm going to buy a separate floor stand for that one. I have found one that is wide enough to hold the Chatelaine, and I'm thinking about getting it. It's not super expensive. I'm more worried about the space it's going to take up because I already have a big floor stand staying around. It is used very much, but it's still taking up a lot of space. So I'm still thinking about it. Baby poo. Yeah, that is now all I think I was going to talk about. So if you have any experience at all with Shuttleins, please share them, because right now I'm in this awkward space between I want to do this and I look at this and I'm already in deep pain. So that's a sad place to be. All right, guys, that's all I can share with you today. I hope you have a wonderful 24 hours of cross stitch if you participate. Otherwise, just enjoy your weekend doing whatever you do. I hope you're back next week. Keep your fingers crossed that this stupid back thing is gone by then. I've now set for 40 minutes, which is probably a new record, without interruption. And yeah, that foot is slightly swollen. I can feel that if I move it, but it's not as bad as it was yesterday. So that might either be the early morning or a good sign, but yesterday around this time, yeah, things were already nope. So I'm taking it as a good sign. Still not going to overdo myself this weekend. That should be a very bad idea. Yeah, and we are going to say goodbye now. Going to purr for the people one more time. I'm not sure they can hear that, Lola. All right. Bye, guys.